So, hello everyone. I have with me Duncan Howard, uh, who just recently got runner-up at the PAX Unplugged System Open. Hi, Duncan.
Hey,
And I have with me Andrew Lawrenson of Calculator fame, the Gateway himself.
Hi guys.
And we're bringing to you another Krayt tape, and we really wanted to go over the final of PAX Unplugged. So let's just jump right into it. Duncan, can you walk us through your list?
all right. So we're going to start with the just going top to bottom. All right. So we have I was practicing a completely different list until they announced that the format would be hyperspace about 2 weeks out from the tournament. So I had to quickly switch it up. So with hyperspace being legal, Director Krennic gets a little worse. He doesn't really have a good platform to sit on, so we put shield upgrade instead of hull on Soontier. And we have targeting and crack, gives Soontier the best burst damage. We have Grand Inquisitor, and then we have Duchess with Predator, Fifth Brother, and Afterburners. That Duchess build is pretty standard. Some people like Prox Mines. I was more of a fan of Afterburners. And we were at like 176 points or something like that. And I determined that bid was kind of egregious, so I just added Sense and Fire Control. Considered like
Wait,
a
wait.
missile.
So you didn't even start with Sense and Fire Control? You were at like 108, 11 billion point bid, and then you decided you went up to a 17 point bid, if I'm hearing
Yeah,
that correctly? Okay. I
correct.
just making sure I understood where you started at. All right. All right. Okay.
So I was practicing something similar to Oliver Pocknell's list. I just don't like Vader very much.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like a personal preference.
Sure.
So I decided,
I think don't think that's wrong. I think they play very differently is the
they
point.
do play very differently, and it's very
Sure.
hard for me to play like that. So I was instead of Vader, I just played Soontir,
Mm-hmm.
Inquisitor, Whisper, and like a bigger bid than and some more upgrades than
Mm-hmm.
Ollie got. And so then I decided Whisper is not hyperspace legal, so I switched to Duchess, and then I filled in the points. Sense is pretty good versus any sixes you can
Mm-hmm.
find if you sense, and then with Duchess's ability to use ailerons or not, with afterburners or not, and barrel rolling or not, you can be a lot of places and block a lot of I6s and have Soontir clean up, despite the fact that you have a 17-point bid and you're moving last.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
fire
and
control
Grand
going to be,
Inquisitor as well, right? Like between Duchess and Grand Inquisitor, I imagine it's a lot easier to block a six when you need to, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
mm-hmm.
So targeting crack. If you weren't that worried about bid, did you consider Lone Wolf for Suntir, or do you?
I don't think it has enough uptime. Targeting crack gives you good burst damage. Just like the fire control, targeting computer is like maybe a one or two times per game you have it. Like, hey, look, it's no one's shooting at me. I'll take a target lock and I'll just keep it for a little while.
Sure. Yeah, no. I just like Predator obviously being a pretty standard upgrade for Suntir since you're going for bullseye so often. Did you mainly take targeting to so that you could play a little more around the edges at range 3 type thing, or was there more thinking beyond it, or that you just want a crack shot?
I think I just want crack shot. It's just personal preference. I find when you're not worrying about the bid too much, targeting crack is a little better of a damage, like more consistent damage to me than Predator is.
Okay.
So it's pretty clear that part of your list tech is the bid. So upon reflection, humor me, right? So let's say we know that hyperspace is about to change, but let's say it doesn't change substantially, or this list is completely legal in the new hyperspace. We don't know, right? But whatever. Um, and I know you don't know. Again, we don't know anything, right? But let's just say that hyperspace basically stays about the same. Let's just do that projection. What do you feel about your bid? Do you think there? I can't say there's a lot of playroom on your upgrades. I'm looking at your list. I think the only thing you can play with is put a missile on Grand Inquisitor or go to Lone Wolf. But like, how much did the bid matter? Do you have playroom with your bid if you chose to do so? I guess you could
Um,
Lone Wolf Duchess too, but I mean, Lone Wolf also plays with what ships can be next to each other, so you may not want it. But that kind of thing. How much was the bid important? How much wiggle room in the bid did you have, kind of feeling going forward if you were to play it again?
so the thing was, I kind of oopsed my way into that bid as we discussed earlier. I was
Oops,
just like,
all
oh,
bid.
here, huh?
Oops, all bid.
Yeah, I was building this list and I was at like 176. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem necessary. And then I put myself to like 183, and I was like, I don't really want any more upgrades. Like I considered like
Mm-hmm.
concussion or ion pulse missiles on Inquisitor, and I think that just made them more expensive than needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like so I just kind of had the bid. I considered like maybe if people were to fly the list you and Paul flew for Worlds and the list I couldn't make work.
I see you still have nightmares.
Huh?
I see you still have nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a 19-point bid, and I just kept getting bent over the table. So that's why I threw in Sense, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're here now. So, if you're,
I think Sense is a fantastic upgrade in the list. I mean, especially when you're already still at a 17-point bid. Like, what else are you going to do with the Sense, the 4th slot, right?
I mean, when you have that many repositions available to you, you know, it's, I don't know. I think
and Vader's still there, right?
Question is like, should my list exist post hyperspace? Like, if hyperspace didn't change in any way except for points, are you hinting that my list shouldn't exist? Or
no, actually, I don't really care about that.
Okay.
No, I'm meaning, so like, the idea in theory with a bid is like, the more bid you have, the less upgrades you left on the table. In your case, you kind of filled everything up, sort of thing. So I was sort of asking like, maybe the Grand Inquisitor have Prockets. That's not a terrible upgrade on him.
No.
But I sort of agree with you on the mentality of like, well, I don't know if I want the Grand Inquisitor to be more expensive because he might be a ship that dies, right?
Hey, Grand Inquisitor could have afforded supernatural reflexes, right?
Sure.
Actually, that was my discussion, because my Whisper for my list that I was running for extended was like 75, anywhere between like 70 and like high 70 points or something like that, like 75, 77. So I was trying to find a bunch of 75-point swaps in there and keep a relatively okay bid. Not double-digit bid, of course, but when I switched to Duchess, I just oopsed my way into 16 more points.
Yeah, because I mean, she's so comically cheaper than Whisper, right? Like,
I mean, she's a diet Whisper basically, but.
So I guess the only other question I have before we move on is, given you had limited time with it. You had one tournament with it. Out of curiosity, how do you feel this list would stand up and extended? Again, we know points are changing. That's an irrelevant statement. Like, going forward, nothing else changes. If you were to have to take, like, would you take this extended? What do you think it stands up?
I think it kind of does. I think I would obviously not need that 17-point bid. I think I would go back to a Whisper quiz soon tier, which isn't a bad list. But if we're not going to do extended moving forward, there's no real point. Okay.
All right, so going into this specific matchup, so let's walk through. So, even before this specific matchup, what is generally going through your list in most situations? What do you consider your win condition with this list?
With my list, or against Paul, or just
first of all, generally, and then secondly, against Paul. But like generally, when you construct this list, what do you think your win condition is? Like when you're building it and what you're going for. What do you think your win condition is when you think about, hey, what are scenarios am I likely to be in? What kind of end games am I trying to create? Those kind of things as a general statement.
Well, like I said, they changed the tournament format like 10 days out, and I didn't really get a lot of practice. I actually got 3 turns of practice game in with this list before this tournament. So the thing is, I was watching Ollie's games to figure out how to fly Whisper in 2.0 because I'm not very good at it. And he made a good point about like you can win by 200-0 or you can win by 1 point, and if you won, you still won. And I was like, well, this guy's a world champ. Like I think I watched one of his games where he like played around for like 40 minutes for positioning. I think he won like 55-50. And I was like, okay, well, this guy's a world champ. I got to actually start thinking like that because I'm a player who doesn't like to run away, save points. I'm pretty aggressive. I like to stay in combat because I know I can destroy a whole list given infinite time. And that's something that's hard for me to stop after 1.0. So because 1.0 was so common to be able to take 200 points off a table. Here it's a little different. So my win condition was basically whatever they would give me. Typically, if you notice, all my ships have aid. Me and Kevin Lyons were discussing before that white evade is probably the best action in the format right now. So we were trying to think of what countered that, which was white jam or jam in general. It doesn't really have a good platform. So we decided to just go with white evade and just see if you can do it better than other people. So you just conserve points.
Okay. That's fine. So then specifically, as you see, you're lining up against Paul.
I just want to like ask one thing too.
Sure.
You know, stuff like outmaneuver, things that remove dice, sort of counter evade tokens as well. Did you have any trouble with that throughout the tournament?
Any trouble with outmaneuver? I did have trouble with Wedge. However, that's where Sense really came in. Sense was really good. Like I played against a Wedge who was looking like straight at my Duchess from like range 4 or something like that. I dialed in a 3-bank. I looked at what Wedge was doing. He was doing a 1 straight, and I was like, wow, that's really going to screw up my 3-bank. So instead of just 3-banking, I ailerons left, 3-bank right, afterburners bank, barrel roll, block Wedge, and I outmaneuvered Wedge, basically.
Right. So basically, yes, that's a bit of a problem for the token stack, but you have enough other tools to basically arc dodge. There can't be too much of that in a list, right? Nobody's running 4 outmaneuvers.
I would say it's less arc dodge and more control his like Wedge's arc, right? He wasn't really. Sure. It was less about arc dodging Wedge and more about blocking Wedge. So like Wedge couldn't pivot. Like he would just stop Wedge from moving or control the arc. Because I mean, Wedge can also boost or barrel roll as needed, right? So is that what you blocked Wedge in that scenario, right?
No, I actually dodged him.
Oh, okay, never mind. You right. Sorry, Andrew.
No, all good. I didn't, unfortunately, and I should say up front, I didn't catch any of the games to this, so I'm going in blind. And some of these questions might be stupid for people who watch the stream.
Well, I'm willing to bet that was not on stream.
No, I didn't play any game on stream except for this one. I just don't like playing on stream.
Yep.
Wedge can boost. You did mention that, Travis, but he loses a die, so it kind of is about the same. Them losing a die versus me losing a die. Mm-hmm. But you're right. Like me losing dice in any way, shape, or form is kind of tough when you can't roll like triple natties. If they roll 3 hits and you only have 2 dice, you can't dodge all the damage.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a whisper problem to an even larger extent that like you're gonna get your 2 evades almost always unless you only have 1 die. Then you're gonna get your 1 evade unless you have no dice.
I suspect you'd rather just Wedge never shoot if you can help it, right? Like why even let him have the opportunity kind of scenario.
Yeah, I've been flying a bit of Nantex with outmaneuver Grievous for hilarity, and denying 2 greens is not uncommon in that sort of list. So
I believe you. So when you sit down, let's walk about so you're sitting down and you see Paul's list, right? I don't know if you knew about Paul's list ahead of time or you had to digest it. Sitting across a table like fresh. But kind of walk across what you thought about what you needed to do for your win con and also sort of digesting what you thought his win con is and what you're doing about it.
Okay, so I was like 90% sure Paul was going to fly Separatist because I think they're a really good faction to play. And Paul's been really interested in them for a while. So I played, if you watched any other games from this tournament, my playtest partner primarily was Adam, who played a Nantex, DFS, Seer, and like 3 droids with Discord missiles. So I was really familiar with the Discord missiles, and as you know, you'll probably notice in this game, Paulo really doesn't get a good opportunity to use them. So basically, the primary target is Chertek for all the shenanigans he can do. Paul's not going to give me Chertek. I know Paul. He's not going to give me that. I think it's just taking bodies off the board because if I'm blocked, I'm screwed. And that's basically the strategy I went with.
Okay, so in this case, you're like, all right, I got it. I'll kill vultures. I don't even disagree with that strategy. So we both played this list. We practiced this list, and I think a lot of people think they can kill Chertek, and some lists can. Most lists cannot, especially with Treacherous.
Yeah, even without Treacherous, I wasn't going to get Chertek.
Right, I agree. Especially the AC lists just generally don't have the capability of doing it. And even the jousting lists usually don't have the capability of doing it through a Treacherous. Some do. I mean, some lists do have the capability. So I agree with you. I think you have the capability of punching through a vulture, and I think that's a smart move on your part.
Yeah, I'd say that Chertek can randomly explode, but I don't think it's a good strategy for most lists. Just to slightly modify that, it's not like Chertek is a token stacker invincible himself or anything like that. But he's a low percentage shot in most cases. Definitely.
And I think as Duncan, if I heard you right, Paul's going to put him in places where you're going to be getting shot by vultures to go shoot Chertek, which is not what you want, right? Like you're going to pay the price to go shoot Chertek, very likely. All right, so let's see here. Let's get to the rock strategies. Before I actually get to that part, what's your general rock strategy? You brought the 3, so you brought the gas clouds. He brought the 3 big rocks. I'm gonna guess in the dark, took initiative first player because none of it mattered.
I think I did. I don't think Dion's thing is right. I think I took first player.
I'm
Initiative
positive you
doesn't
did.
matter.
So I went ahead and looked. You did.
Okay, I did. Okay, I was like, I see the thing at the top right, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I took initiative because like I figured out Soontir and Showtech are different times. So anyway, I took initiative so I could place a rock away because I need to stop Paul from making his home base with grappling struts. And I think I did that effectively. Other than that, I don't really have a strategy.
All right, so let's.
Because I don't think I'm a player who's under the impression that rocks don't really matter.
So you don't think rocks really matter?
Not too much. The general idea of rocks matter, but I don't think they matter as much as some people say they do.
If I'm gonna, because Dion put these at lightning speed.
I think I'd agree with you that the fine grained specifics don't matter as much as people think they do. But did you have a general idea of whether you wanted them spread out or close together?
I put this rock right here at the top left. That was my first rock. Paul places there, and Paul's going to try to probably make like a triangle on his end of the board. I forget what I did. I either placed it in the bottom left or the bottom right corner right here.
You did a bottom left. So you did two corners with the big rocks, which makes absolute sense.
Yeah. I was going to agree that in general, like you probably want them spread out in most cases when you're running an aces list because you want something near you that you can duck behind, but it depends.
So get good. All right. So that's your rock, and that's your cloud.
Yeah.
So basically you decided that when it's a gas cloud, you do like them in the middle of the board and tight. When they're rocks, you super don't. It's basically the strategy.
And that rapid claw kind of like gave me like a little area where I could like long flank or short flank and then like use it as protection. And we'll notice that later.
Yeah. And generally speaking, from the Vulture side, he hates gas clouds, so he put them in what he considered generally irrelevant positions.
Yeah.
And made sure that there was this big, open, wide area that were not gas clouded.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's see here. So let's see your initial setup. So walk us through your initial setup.
Okay, so Soontir is set up for the long flank up the side of the board where he can barrel to the board edge. Quiz is bait right there. He's going to like this slow roll. Hopefully Paul will come straight at me. And then Duchess is, I did the setup in almost every game. I think actually every game. And I did the opening maneuvers almost the same every single game. And you'll see them here. Duchess is going to go for a short flank. With her ability, you have to set up maneuvers to where you can like opt in or out of a not of a joust, opt in or out of a flank. If they like call you on it, you're like, oh, I'm out. Or you could come in, and you'll see that in the first couple turns.
Okay.
So Inquisitor's bait because he's the tankiest, and he's going to tuck behind this.
So after you got to see him set up. So that's your plan, right? So you have your generic set of maneuvers here. All right. So
weirdly here, you'll notice that Soontir being the most expensive part of the list is actually the most frail. So I spent a lot of time protecting him.
You consider Soontir more frail than Duchess?
Yes.
Why is that?
Yeah, he can token. I mean, they both can token stack with evade force or evade focus. Yep. One has 2 dice, one has 3 dice. It's the ability to arc dodge is actually better on Duchess.
I see. So right. So when you say frail, you're including, it's easier to corner Soontir.
Yeah, the best green dice are the ones you don't have to roll.
Sure, fair enough.
So let me see if I can.
Okay, we can definitely go faster than this.
Yeah,
I assume the only one of your list that you're really intending to. So in your ideal engage here, is it fair to say that you would take range 3 through an obstacle obstructed shots onto Grand Inquisitor while Duchess and Soontir flank?
Yes, definitely. Because like if they go after Inquisitor, like most people who did, typically lose. But he's not to be underestimated in his damage because that's why you take fire control.
Sure. But he's still the ideal. I always like to, when coming into a game, think of in the ideal initial engage, who do I want them shooting at?
So, all right. So we, kind of standard opening maneuvers, right? Paul, anyone that's watched any of Paul's games here, kind of know his general setup here. He's going for the general, I can walk through, where he collapses his 4x2 wide into a 2x4 that can turn into the board at any given moment.
And that's what was scary for me.
Oh, it should be. It's there. It can also 2 bank and threaten a 4x2 this way. It can do all sorts of things. I mean, it's a very standard opening for the Vulture Swarm.
Right.
I see that you did what you said you were doing. So you see this opening. How are you reacting to it?
I did a 2 straight, and then I thought Paul was coming in a little fast, so I ended up boosting just to give me a little bit of rock cover.
No, just in general. Like, what do you see what he's doing now? How are you reacting to it now? Like, going forward, we can see your maneuvers, but what are you thinking? Like, so I don't know if you've seen this kind of setup before. I think it's still catching people off guard. I mean, to me, it seems really standard, but he and I worked on it together. But it seems very generic. Like, the whole point is we're not committing to anything. Committing is for nerds.
Something very similar in the hyperspace trial where I was running Supernatural Anakin, and he was running like Seer and 7, I think.
Yep, it's literally the same setup.
It's the same. So anyway,
There's
so he
been
does
zero invention on
I've seen it before. Just the problem is, like, here in the next couple turns, he could like turn in with a 1 hard, keep going straight, or like turn in with a 2 hard. So I cannot like super commit to this blank area at the top right of the board yet.
Right. So to ask a hypothetical question, just because I'm curious from your point of view, had instead of going straight there, the vultures all just turned left to face down the board edge as a 4x2 instead, would you have straight turned around your entire formation, or would you have left Soontir out there in a potentially baity? Would you have allowed them to sort of threaten Soontir instead of Grand Inquisitor?
First thing on the first turn?
Yeah.
So with the 2 straight on Quiz, I probably would have like boosted left or something like that.
Yeah, sure. I'm mostly like Soontir is sort of committed to going around that rock with the maneuver you did. Next turn, would you have straight opted back out and tried to turn the whole formation around? Or I'm just curious, like how invested you are in Soontir must be the flanker.
Not necessarily. He's a really good bait. I mean, like, you just leave a lot of options open, like here.
Yep.
I think I barrel to the board edge. But like, he has the easy opt out to like 1 hard out and boost backwards, you know.
Sure.
And to see if I'm understanding you correctly, you're talking about if he did the 4 wide, instead of even going and collapsing into this box,
turn left.
he just does this.
Yeah, right? Because the way, as soon as he's going straight, yes, he can turn it at any point, but you're still roughly arranged the way that you set up, where he is roughly pointing the most at Grand Inquisitor, which is what you want. If he straight turns left, you have to reevaluate. He could 5 straight down that board edge.
Well, and in reality, because he didn't put any rocks here, he could just 1 turn back.
One turn again, exactly, right?
He could do nothing, and barrel roll too.
Yeah.
1 turn.
And I'm not saying that's better. I'm just curious what your reaction would have been to that instead, whether you maintain your setup or whether you try to flip it. Because a lot of times, I make different decisions on that front, whether it's like, okay, no, it's very important that I flip this back the other way. But
I think what I would have done if Paul had done that was not boosted Inquisitor on the second turn, keep him up there in that top left corner, keep Duchess where she's going with this potential flank he has. Like, I think like if Paul was where his dials are or something like that, I would have just dialed in like a 3 straight on this turn.
Okay.
So I could 1 bank to the right, 3 straight, 1 straight, 3 straight, or like if he commits at Duchess, you do a 1 straight left and then like 3 straight behind that gas pipe.
And then the main question is, like, does Soontir opt out in that situation? Is he 1 turn boost?
Are we saying Soontir is where he is?
Yes. Or where he was last turn even.
I would not have 3 banked. I would have stayed at the board edge and done like a 1 hard and then like probably barrel.
You just would have turned in.
If
you saw him do
that. No, I agree. Yeah, I think Soontir has to opt out of any potential open joust like that. But
it sounded like you would have played a more of a game of submarine, right, where you're both kind of just feeling each other out a lot longer. I suspect as the Vulture player, that's a game of death for them, because what he wants to do is you would have a flanker still up here, super maneuverable, who knows where, quantum position Duchess here. And then,
or whatever you want.
Yeah, and then Soontir, who's effectively not committed here, right? So I'd have a big box, I'm being Paul here, and just almost too much open space here, which just feels bad. And so by doing this, he's cutting off a large chunk of the board. He's cutting off the flank. Like, those dudes had to evacuate, right? So he's evacuated this whole flanking area. So you have to come all the way around to flank again. Not that you can't, but it gives him time to like see it coming a little bit.
Right, and he's also on the side with the 2 rocks.
Yeah, and I mean, he's you're both very conscious the whole game probably of where rocks are. I don't know if we haven't watched the game, so we haven't. But I mean, like he knows where his struts can go, right? And so do you. So that's probably a very large factor. Let's see where you went. Great. There's some Krayt tape for you. I paused at exactly the part where it was fuzzy. Nailed it.
Whoops. Okay, so again, Paul here still has the easy way to 2 hard, 1 hard in, or just continue straight and cut off the edge of the board. So I have to be very conscious of that.
Exactly.
And with the barrel roll, so many places those droids can be. Luckily, my playtest partner primarily played droids, so I kind of lucked out on that. And then once Paul commits to this spot, I think I'm a little safer with Soontir.
That's a little interesting. I think I would have turned in that turn.
I was thinking Paul would too, and I think you'll see my maneuvers kind of reflect that.
Yeah, not that what he's done is terrible or anything. You're far enough away, but his next 2 to 3 turns are extremely predictable.
Yeah, so Duchess aileron straight, and then I do a 3 straight. So as I said, I could have gone anywhere. If Paul committed in, I could have gone right and 3 straight.
Yep.
And you have your afterburners active, right? So.
Yep.
I do, but I don't think I use it there.
Yeah, but you had it. It's like an option for you. Also, for anyone watching, I remember this. The brown ones are any brown one is the Discord and no struts. The blues are the struts and no Discord.
Right.
And then we forget that I can shoot. There we go.
And then Paul's a mean human being and doesn't let you shoot. No, he does.
I forget to let Paul roll extra dice because I'm a mean human being too.
Yep.
I almost did damage. All right. So here was a very interesting turn because Paul's turning in, depending on 1 hard, 2 hard, whatever. So you have to opt out with Inquisitor because he does not have a lot of good.
Even the 3 hard fits, by the way.
Probably.
I mean, it doesn't mean he wants to do it, but
maybe not the front guys, but like, so Duchess has an extremely safe 3 straight or 3 bank here, right? Like, there's almost no risk to that.
Extremely safe.
Yeah. Soontir
difficult.
Pretty safe too. I assume you dial 3 bank or something, or 4 straight with Soontir.
God, look at those barrels. They're so beautiful. Look at them. Behold the vulture.
But yeah, the thing is, going into that, because of where he went last turn, you know that is as far over as he can get, and 2 of your ships can get around that. So
yeah, again, think about what I said about Soontir being the most fragile ship in the list here.
Yeah.
And Paul has another easy 2 hard next turn, and on a lot of open boards, so I wouldn't commit with Soontir right there.
Yeah. I guess the other thing in this matchup that's nice about targeting computer over Predator is you're going to get free bullseyes on almost everything. There's so many ships, but that might not be the ship you want to shoot, whereas targeting computer gives you that flexibility. So.
Oh, that's where you realize, you were deprived an agility.
Yeah, because Inquisitor only applies an extra range 1 bonus, doesn't take away the range 3 bonus.
Right.
It's good to know that, if you had more than 1 practice game.
I blame you.
So these, Travis or Duncan, what do you think about? It's interesting because he has his Discord guys as the far guys, and I know they're not necessarily going to be super relevant in this matchup, but they're not really in a position to threaten very much for the next few turns because they don't have struts. They can't hop onto that rock. All they're threatening here is Inquisitor. Inquisitor's never turning in there. Do you think that he should have been, trying to deny a little bit more board area with those, with where he put them, or is it just doesn't matter in this matchup, so he just played them that way?
Well, go ahead, Duncan.
I think Paul is aware that I have probably seen Discord missiles quite a few times and thinks that it's probably not what he's going to need to do this game to win.
Right.
So I think he knows that Duncan knows about them and will use them to zone, right? So he already knows that the Inquisitor's probably not going to be there, but he also can tractor things and still shoot. And he might be relying on the fact that most people have not been seeing that. That is not something people are prepared for. It doesn't come up that often when you even want to do it, but it's a thing that people are super not used to.
I was, if he had his Discords out on the other end of the formation, then he could have kind of thrown them out to make a little bit of zone control for the other guys.
I mean, the thing that caught me off guard is if I'm making sure that I did my count right, because blue, 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 right?
Yeah, that barrel roll. Yeah.
That is not a Stret's vulture.
Right.
But again, he might just be going, YOLO, don't care, or whatever. Best position,
yeah.
best position. I might not even take damage here, whatever. And he can track. Actually, his real answer is he can probably just tractor that guy right back to where he needs to be. Is the real answer.
Seems fine.
I can't tell where his turret arc is, to be honest. So
it's to Tritek's left, my right.
Okay, so he cannot tractor that guy back.
Lauritsen, you called it out about the 3-bank, so you just kind of go for the flank here.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do about it. So
I mean, if he had committed like everybody to going after Inquisitor, then you just do the 1-bank, 3-bank, and you flank everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I just meant that like it doesn't, that's a completely safe maneuver. So yeah.
And then Soon-Tier just kind of stays back there.
Oh, interesting. I might have been tempted to boost left there.
Yeah,
I know next turn would have been rough, but
he's doing the ensnare on one of his friends.
Yep.
He's doing the far one.
I had Predator here.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that a good decision given Predator? That just makes it more likely that he gets initiative killed here.
I think he may have actually forgotten about Predator. I mean, I don't know. We don't
literally said he forgot about Predator when I rolled dice.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, Predator. That seems bad.
Yeah. So he misses with the Discord missile here.
Oh, okay, hold on. So we were confused. The Discords were on the close guys. This makes a lot more sense.
Well, yeah, the Browns.
I thought they were on the left-hand guys in the corner.
No. Like, so it's every brown vulture. But that's the whole point. Brown, and brown. They're
okay, this makes more sense. Okay. I thought they were the 4 left corner guys. I'm like, that seems weird.
Okay, so Discord misses, but he's going to die anyway.
Yeah.
All right, easy money.
Yep. Don't even need correct shot.
So you're already winning.
Yeah.
So now the internet tells me you run for 98 minutes,
right?
All
you have to do is dodge.
That's what the internet told me.
For 98 minutes.
Just call the game there. Paul, you want to call it here?
All right, so while we're getting here, and I'll pause before dials are revealed, what do you think's about to happen? So you're up. You do know that. Jokes aside, you are up. You're winning. Your win con is now met, but you met it way too early for a 2-hour game.
But the thing is, with triple aces, like everyone says, like, oh, aces just get up on points and run for time. It's not necessarily true. Aces, there are a lot of scenarios where you need to keep pressure on, so you can keep your win con where it is instead of like I could just run away and like take evades for 20 turns. That's not a winning strategy, and I will probably lose to variance at some point in there, like take 2 damage on somebody. I
think it's also like Chertek changes that algebra a little bit too. He is as fast as any of your ships except Duchess, maybe. And so it's not running away from Nantexes is not usually the right plan, but it all depends. So
right, and I think that's what people misunderstand when we say run for time is that unless the game is very close to time, that running away means running away and then like coming in for very favorable engagements or doing the loop-de-loops where you have one threatening a flank while the other one's running, and as soon as that one turns in, you turn the other one around and run. Like you always nipping at the heels kind of thing.
Yep.
That said, you're up early, and there's still a lot of vultures. So, like I said, I'm just curious what your plan here is, right? Like, great, you killed the vulture. That's actually fantastic for you. So, walk us through what your next stage here is, because I would say that this accelerates us closer to a mid game faster than we would think.
Yes, we've reached the mid game only 20 minutes into a 2-hour game.
Because I think you're both starting to think like a mid game, if that makes sense. Even this is why I try and kind of make those terms are not necessarily by time; it's by game state. And I think you guys have reached a mid game in thought process. Even though there's a lot of board, there's a lot of stuff. You guys have actually done some advanced maneuvering around the board, right? And something is maneuvered, and you guys are now changing the way you guys are thinking about the game. So what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking I do need to conserve points while still being aggressive, or not aggressive, but like while still putting pressure on Paul and getting some of those blockers out of the way. Because one good block, one good shot, like range 3 downtown, like crit direct hit or something like that, like can still put Paul in the lead.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you plan to do it, basically, from here? Because you're...
I think I'm in a pretty good position right now because, I'm flanking from 3 different angles, which is what you want. You want to make your opponent choose, and you want to make them choose wrong.
Right. Well, I would argue that you're not really flanking with Inquisitor yet.
Well, you'll see it here on this next turn. I think it's this next turn that I kind of set up what I want to with Inquisitor. And that's, sadly he bites it first, but we'll get there.
Oh, spoilers, Jesus.
So
here's Dion. Get your yellow line.
And I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think he hard left turn, goes after Duchess type thing, or do you think there's a chance those top vultures 5 straight after Inquisitor, or what is your thinking here?
Inquisitor, he's wrong.
I agree.
I can easily range him or tuck behind that gas cloud, and then with 2 force and a gas cloud and whatever token I decide to take and whatnot. He will never damage Inquisitor, and Inquisitor is wrong to go after.
Yeah, I think the thing is, in general, though, like, are you so confident in that you're willing to dial the 1 turn here or something?
Yeah, I'm really confident in that.
Yeah, no, I'd probably take a minor consideration about a Discord happening to clip something with a 3 bank, but I think with boost barrel roll, you're probably fine getting into that.
Well, I think you have to bear in mind, he's really safe from the Discord. This guy, if he went straight, won't have a calculate.
Yes.
So the only Discord threat is this dude.
That's true, yes.
So
I assume Soontir just...
This is the thing that I talk about, sort of like what is it? I forget the phrasing I use or that's used, but sort of the mental overload that you can have. These guys are tired, right? You woke up, you had your bye, right? Paul didn't.
I did have a bye, so I got the sleep in special.
Right. But this is the last game of the day. You still have to pay attention to which vultures have them, which don't. You have to try and remember in the middle of this game while you're nervous, and now you're up trying to think of how you keep this game, that this dude actually won't be firing, if he went straight, fire a Discord missile at you. You actually have to remember that in the moment, which is actually not easy for opponents to remember, is sort of what I'm getting at, right? Like, on the board, it's not always easy for opponents to remember those aspects. So,
yeah, so I think I'm assuming Soontir does something relatively slow and neutral, and the question is Duchess. I again, I'm assuming it starts with a 3, but are you committing to like a bank right or a bank left here, or no?
Ooh, Travis yelled at me for spoilers earlier. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, cool. I'm just thinking, do you think about ever dialing in a bank left here with the notion that you can ailerons in something, or is that just too dangerous to you?
And then I realized we still had 95 minutes left if I leave the ship.
Yeah. So if you dial a straighter bank right, you can always ailerons, bank, boost, barrel, whatever, and then at least be range 3 of a few guys.
See,
I assume that's the safest.
Yep. This guy over here does not have struts.
Right.
So there goes the cloud of vultures.
Okay, so if I had dialed in a 3 bank left, right? So I 1 bank kind of almost maybe hit Churtek, and then I probably like bump into these back droids here. So it's not the worst maneuver in the world.
No. A 3 bank left only gets punished by barrel rolls on those guys, right?
Now it gets comically punished by.
No, because you can still ailerons left 3 bank left, right, and shoot the back guy.
You can still bump one of those into that droid thing. So
I'm saying it gets punished here because ensnare exists.
Bank ailerons and then 3 bank. I think I bump into one of these droids. That's lined up there.
I can't quite see the line, but my
Oh, you mean you're saying you would actually jump past?
I think you could jump past Churtik, but you were on the board, so you know how it actually was. But yeah, if the assumption was that you could maybe do that, it's still risky because that guy behind him could have barrel rolled and blocked you, and then you're in Churtik hell. But
guess what? I didn't do that.
No, it's good. This is good.
Yeah, because if one vulture's there, you land an ensnare and insta die, basically, right?
I'm always curious because I know Bun would never dial a 3 bank left there, so I want to see how far down risk averse territory you are.
All right, we'll let you get your hand out of the way. Here's the first question I really want to get from an ace player. Here is your first Afterburners charge.
Yes.
Why? Not that you're wrong, but walk us through the logic. Huh?
I ranged everybody there. If you go back like a couple seconds, I think I'm in range of like 2, and you can tractor 1 further into range.
Let me see. How do I rewind well?
You go back like 10 seconds.
Jump backwards. Is that going to do it? Oh, God. I'm scared. I'm going to... All right, what time?
We're at 91.
All right, jump backward. There we go.
A little 10 more seconds.
There we go. We did it,
There.
boys.
All right. So I'm in range of this vulture in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul Contractor, another one up there, and I'm in range of Turtek.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 times I have to roll green dice with a force and then a
But you're not an Arca Turtek, right? Or are you right now?
Bullseye, actually, I was.
Okay. So you could have rolled out of that, but yeah, you're still taking
could've,
2
but
shots.
then
Well, rolled also would have deprived them of yet another green token.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I lose a green token to not take
Yep.
3 dice. What if I just spent a charge and then didn't take any, and then didn't roll any green dice? And it leaves me a lot of options.
No, I agree. It's clearly better this turn, although it does put you closer to the corner.
Well, yeah, it's not. Make sure you understand. The question isn't like challenging you. It's literally walk us through when you feel like you need to use your afterburner charges because they're a limited resource.
The first charge, I'm more likely to use. The last charge is like I don't think I ever used.
Yeah, pull your teeth. Like, oh God, you'll take it from my cold dead hands, kind of thing.
Yeah, and here I think that this position actually leaves me better options for next turn than the other one did, based on the 45-degree angle I'm at instead of the flat angle facing the board edge.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you ever use your Afterburner's charge kind of offensively on the opening engage?
No.
I will occasionally do that on Vader, but not commonly on Duchess.
Vader makes more sense. I think I've never done it on any other ship.
I don't know that I've done it on Duchess.
Just because the damage output on Vader is so important in almost every list he's in. I mean, that goes back to when Duncan and we were talking to Duncan about Vader list versus Soontir list just feel different, and it's the Vader has to do damage. He has to get in there and hit hard.
I think Vader would have been a super bad call right here in this matchup.
Oh,
I agree.
Turns out white evades are good. So you notice there, Quiz took his target lock, and he's just going to start trying to pump in consistent damage. He had a free turn right there. Duchess had a free turn, and Soontir had a free turn. Paul could go easily too hard or too bank in at either of the 2 aces on my end of the board. But I think he still wants Duchess because he thinks she's the most fragile one, which when she can't arc dodge, it's true. But when she can arc dodge, it's not true.
She's kind of the hardest to catch.
So you're anticipating what, some 2 banks then?
No, I'm anticipating Paul goes straight for a Duchess.
Yeah, so 5 straight, at least with the back guys.
Sure.
Yeah, to keep speed.
So I assume
I still have to plan for. I just measured to see if I had arc on the buzz droid because I can shoot them.
Yeah.
So there, Paul does 5 straight. I still had to bet that Paul might turn in on Soontir, which is bad.
Yeah.
Because look how unpunished Soontir's 2 bank would have been right here. But if I had done it and Paul 2 banked at me, I'm jousting 7 ships.
Just jousted.
It's fine.
Nice swoop, just joust.
Just be range 3 auto thrusters. Will be fine.
I have auto thrusters, so it's not the right one.
There you go. So I assume Duchess is again starting with a 3 on her maneuver, but
no.
Really, you're really going to make a tight corner here, or interesting? So because that could have been punished without those rolls, right? But
I mean, yeah, but I also still have the ailerons, yes or no. Ailerons 1 straight to give me a little bit more range, and then 1 hard.
Yep, fair. It's just Chertek could have rolled up arc forward, which he did, I guess. But
okay, so Quiz gets a free shot here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this is the ailerons overload, where you have to think about it.
I'm curious.
I did the 1 hard.
Yeah.
I'm considering what kind of range I want, but I also want bullseye because I'm trying to keep pressure on Paul.
Yeah.
And then I was wondering where the 1 hard, regular put me. I think it put me in bullseye, which I did not expect. But everything works out. And then, so I had the bail out here to a big boost left. Paul turned in at me.
So if you were considering the 1 straight, 1 turn type thing? Like the aileron straight? Yeah.
Or the 1 bank, 1 turn.
Yeah.
In a weird position.
I like the angle better this way.
I have to appreciate that the damn droids literally just went up the board, turned around, and it just went straight back down the board. I mean, this is a weird game, but whatever.
Yeah. So if you look here, Duchess at this angle has opt-ins for every direction. If she were facing straight at Paul's list, I think my options are a little worse.
No. This is a great position for next turn.
So this looks like you can kill this back droid between Soontir Fire and
That's handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would think, but no.
Yeah.
What if they had glitter stem?
I mean, it's still good.
They
Still
have
a good
glitter
start.
calculate for what it's worth.
All right, apply the range 1 bonus here. Roll some dice. Roll some dice. Easy crits, I guess.
Glitter stem doesn't. It's glitter calculate. Glitter force. All right.
I had bullseye on that guy, so I decided to take the predator shot at him.
That seems
Whoa.
good.
I did fifth brother there for 3 crits, and then Paul just natties out of everything this turn.
Don't be
Well,
mad at
still
the
nine
droids.
is a little above average for those 3 shots as well without token spend. So it's not too bad. Not too bad in exchange for you, I think.
Yeah, there's the bullseye.
Guess we'll see the greens. The greens are the key thing here, right? Did you expect to kill something that turn?
I was not expecting to. I wanted more than 2 crits.
Right.
I
don't
don't
think
think
I-
it would be up.
I think I probably would have been happy with 2 crits in this, but that makes sense. It's about in the middle, yeah. Would have been great to
I
natty
was
another
expecting
vulture.
maybe one more crit on the droid Duchess shot at or something. I don't
Okay.
know. Return
fair
on.
enough.
So what are you expecting? Are you expecting to take any damage here on?
I expected to take 1 to 2 on Duchess,
Okay.
especially because I found out I was in sure text bullseye and no consequences. So it was a no consequences turn for both of us, and I came out on top.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Lawrence,
There's a little consequences for the vultures.
I mean, you're the math guy, so you probably we both rolled pretty above average, I think, here.
No, I mean
Yeah.
in terms of just pure points exchange. Like it
I don't
doesn't
know,
matter if it was above average. Like he still had to give up points or the threat of HP.
Oh no, I mean taking no damage, you clearly came in on top of that regardless, right? Especially since your position is now better than last turn, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I think his attack dice were pretty bad. My green dice were pretty bad, but my attack dice were good, and his green dice were pretty good. So.
yeah. Yep. And like you said, they have glitter stem, but you still stripped a couple tokens.
Glitter
It's
calculate.
Not
Yeah.
sorry, whatever.
All right. These next 2 turns are pretty weird for me. We'll just get
So
into
yeah,
it.
so he's stressed. I assume you're expecting at least some 2 turns right here. What are you thinking?
That's exactly what I'm expecting.
Right. So Soontir's may be gone. Inquisitor's got an easy turn in here. Duchess just dials a 3 and doesn't care, maybe? I don't know. Good question. You're ahead. How dangerous is Churtik here?
Pretty dangerous. His arc is
Yeah,
still
because it's to there.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
arc's in the correct position of not carrying.
Yes.
Dion also predicts, I don't know, arrows and triangles.
But the thing is, Duchess again can. So what the front droid could block ailerons, which is a potential concern.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about that, or?
I don't think Paul would sacrifice dice that way.
Yeah, the only thing is that if you had dialed in something like a 3 straight, I might be tempted to take that block with that front droid because then you're in trouble without ailerons.
When you're at
Whereas if he leaves your ailerons open, he literally can't shoot Duchess this turn.
when
right?
you're at the kind of angle with Duchess, I think you usually dial in 3 bangs because your aileron adjust for the angle you want.
Sure.
Okay, it's a long turn. There we go. All right, look, he turned in. And very well calculate. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But here, it's I don't think you can really put enough fire onto Inquisitor to really care. I don't know how risk averse you are with Inquisitor, but I'd be tempted to just roll up and exchange fire with that
when you
front
have
one.
2 force and an evade.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd probably just trade fire with that one guy, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. And I assume there's no way in hell you turn in with Soontir here.
Spoilers. No, I don't. Yeah, we're gonna get to a point where there's a ton of arc measuring and ship moving, and we can just probably skip all that.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, so this is exactly what I expected Paul to do.
Mhm.
Churtek does the 1 hard as he does. Yeah, there it is.
So does he go arc left here?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because he doesn't want
I think he's
Duchess
just
to roll
deciding
up
if
behind.
he were moving or not, basically.
Yeah. No, this is the best because you threaten Duchess just rolling up directly, shooting,
Mm-hmm.
no consequence. These guys. I mean, honestly, I might still be tempted if I were you, but we'll see what you do. Yeah. So just opt out. It's fine.
Yeah, so I could have done the go. I could have just like three banked.
Yeah, you could have just
put me in bullseye. It would have gotten me tractored. I could have gone like to the ailerons
left. Yeah, I don't know if you would have had a shot with that though. So, like if you went the other way, I like this better. Whenever people group up their aces, I'm much happier as a swarm player.
Here, I was considering taking just the evade to like tank the damage.
Yeah.
I barrel roll focus here because I'm expecting to kill this droid. To be honest with you.
Is that guy damaged? Does he have? Is he the one Krayt guy?
That's one of the Krayt guys. So he's 2 HP.
Is he the weapons failure as well?
I think it's hull breach.
I don't know which one he is.
It's
hull breach. Okay, then that's pretty good chance, I think.
Yeah, so I was expecting to kill this droid here, and then it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. Quiz takes more damage.
Certainly not guaranteed, but Quiz takes damage. Okay, that's maybe.
I thought I put a focus down on Quiz. Never mind. Oh, I relied on my force, and that was dumb because I didn't want to.
Right.
You didn't want to take the stress, right?
Right.
I think I'm only taking 2 shots here from these 2 droids.
I mean, that looks right.
I was looking to initiative kill the brown one.
I mean, I can't tell. It looks like it's those 2 droids.
Yes.
The only shots incoming.
I was expecting to kill one and then not. So I would have like maybe 1 force, maybe 2 force.
So not being stressed. Like, what are you trying to leave open? Like the 3s?
All right. So I spent all my force here, and then Paul Natty's out of it, and doesn't take a direct. So I'm kind of screwed there. So I'm out of force. I fire control a focus result on a hit double focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but this is on the ship you're trying to initiative kill, right?
Yeah.
So I should have taken the barrel focus, to be honest, because I could have
right. Yeah. Because your straights are pretty safe other than Chertek next turn.
However, I don't think my next turn is really bad with Quiz.
Like if you're stressed?
Both if I'm stressed and if I'm not stressed.
Okay. But all of them are stressed too, right?
I just like the focus tokens.
They can only
do
do
2
2 turns.
Defensive mods, right?
Yeah, I should have taken the focus, and I took 2 damage on Quiz here, which kind of sucked. Because Paul rolled 3 hits and I rolled evade. Focus blank. That was the droid I wanted to kill. Wouldn't have killed it either way. Would have taken 1 damage instead of 2. So Paul right here can really hard punish the 3 bank left and like get away from like his whole swarm. And that's the only maneuver I think he's going to go for. That or the 1 hard left. But the 1 hard left seems really bad for me if Paul just 2 hards his entire droid swarm at me. So I spend a lot of time on Inquisitor's Dial here, and I take the more risky maneuver, and then Paul did not punish the 3 bank left at all. Yeah, I thought that droid was going to do something different. I thought
I can see that droid getting out of the way. I thought he might have gone straight, so that if Soontir went right, But I could see him getting out of the way so that the other guy can 2 bank roll, or 2 turn roll.
Yeah, here with Soontir, I leave options to go left or right. Duchess has all the time in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so this makes sense. I guess the turn in is a little, and then Chertek basically has to threaten the. Whoops.
All right, we can do a lot of it. So
threaten the space. That bump's unfortunate. See, I would probably just would have gone straight with that droid, but.
Yeah. So here, if I had done the 3 bank left, I would have been safe. And Quiz would have escaped, which would have been nice.
I think he was probably intending to roll that other droid as well. I assume, right?
Which one?
The one he bumped.
Yeah, probably. If he had done the straight, like you said, I don't think he bumps that one and roll, and then he rolls. Then I can do a 3 bank left and boost focus, and I think I'll be away from most shots.
Yeah, I actually don't when you said you're really scared of that or whatever. What were you scared of threatening that? Because this is the tightest he could turn without. While clearing stress.
And he could have boosted forward right here with Chertek and turned his arc forward, and then I get tractored and I die on that rock.
Was his arc not already forward?
No, it's left already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He just doesn't tractor himself.
At all. That's strange. I would have assumed he would want to threaten one or the other of your ships there.
Yeah.
Either go up and right.
I think it's purely because he's afraid of Duchess's turn in, and he doesn't have a tractor dump if he's wrong.
But if Duchess turns in, if he goes right and puts his arc right, isn't Duchess getting tractored? Or could Duchess stay far enough away?
Duchess could stay at range with a 1 turn.
Okay.
I'm
so
assuming.
if I had done a 3 bank left here like I was thinking I should have. But then Paul had so many opportunities to punish it with Chertek tractoring 1 straight forward and
So his vulture going left worked out for him. Okay.
It did. Weird.
Well, cool. Maybe he's playing in extra dimensions.
Yeah, he's got 14 dimensions to my 12.
He knew.
All right, so there's like 10 minutes of measuring here.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you guys have done with quiz? I was trying to make that, like, Paul's not going to think I'm going to turn into his entire swarm.
So I probably would, to be honest, I probably would have stressed in the previous turn, and then I would have been locked into a 4 straight, right? Which
I think
getting...
that's the.
Isn't blue. It's just 2, 3 straight.
Oh, it's just 3 now. Oh,
yeah. And then that buzz droid is there. Don't forget about that.
So yeah, I think that's the problem. Is that it's easy.
So hard.
I think it's easy with hindsight to say, well, if you really had that, I would have focused there, had that thing, but then you would have been locked in, and you still would have.
Yeah, no. To be clear, I'm not saying that I think that would have ended better.
Oh no,
I just think in the moment that's probably what I would have done. Is been like, oh, my straight looks pretty open.
I really honestly thought I could kill that droid and have 1 force left over for the defense of the 1 attack I was going to take.
Yeah, well,
you think you kill it with just the lock?
And a force.
But you said had 1 force left over for defense.
Because he's
I was for 1 force. I had to spend both on attack and didn't even kill that droid with hull breach.
I see.
But Andrew, what I was saying is that I too, my gut reaction was, hey, I would have just barrel roll focus, right? But then being stressed there basically locks him in to be killed by the swarm next turn.
Yeah.
Now that we see the board state, right? Like, not stressing at least kept his dial open to be threatening, right?
Yeah.
Like he may have chosen the wrong maneuver in post hoc, but at least he had the options to maybe get out of this. If he was stressed, I think he would have been.
Yeah, and actually, granted, he's not stressed. Did you consider the 5 straight?
So we knew where all these droids were going to go, except for the one that I'm bumping right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
With my template touching him right there, that brown droid. I was real scared of Chertek, and then when Paul just didn't turn his arc or tractor himself, I really wanted to punch myself in the face.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, that's post hoc, right? Like there's so many universes where he like boosts forward and just keeps the arc there to make sure you don't escape, right?
And that screws Chertek's position if he does tractor and turn arc forward, does screw all my straight options.
Well, he gets you, right? But is it worse overall is the question, right? Because he's only going to be able to throw you into, what, 2 arcs?
Okay, so let's say if I did a 5 straight, and he didn't move himself, but put his arc forward. He put me in these 2 back arc droids.
And his own, I assume.
So if he just rotates forward and does nothing, you mean?
You think he can throw you back? You think? If he can get you onto that buzz droid, I agree. It's definitely worse.
Yeah, he gets me on the buzz droid, so I take a crit, and then I'm taking 2 range.
He absolutely gets you on the buzz droid.
If he gets you on the buzz droid, then 100%, you're dead.
Yeah.
So
if I had known what Paul was doing with Chertek, if I had a time machine right now, I'd go back and be like, hey, dial in the 3 bank left, and you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Because you do a 3 bank, and then you boost out of range arc and take a focus, I guess, and you wrestle behind that rock for a couple turns.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, yeah.
In this case, I think he's scared of your Duchess is the reason he didn't tractor forward, because he doesn't have a tractor dump.
Yeah.
I think he would have boosted tractor to the left.
Yeah, it's because he took the evade too, so he really did not expect to tractor or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he had the focus down for a minute. Duchess tries to save Inquisitor a little bit here. Doesn't do very, very good job at it.
Yeah, I mean, Inquisitor could definitely die here. That wouldn't be too crazy.
It is not crazy. I have 1 force and no tokens. I try to do some damage to a droid.
Yeah.
I do some damage.
Yep, and we're gonna see a bunch of droids fire into.
It looks like a range 1 and 2 range 2s.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we said, at the start of the game, obviously going after Inquisitor is wrong, but given where Paul ended, and especially because he put damage into Inquisitor last term.
Yeah, well,
turn
it's the board state, right? The board state
absolutely
lent itself towards that scenario.
Yeah, no, I just think that sometimes people maybe slavishly stand to some of those recommendations a little bit too much.
I was expecting if Paul had I was expecting to have a little more damage in at this point in the game than
did Duchess do anything there? Did she do any damage?
No, she tried to shoot that droid who bumped and try to save Inquisitor's skin a little bit and did 1 damage maybe.
1 damage,
no, 0 damage.
Right.
So, all right, you're losing, but not. I mean, so you're losing by points, is what I mean. What you're losing, but you're not losing by a lot. So
Still 7 ships to my 2.
right. So that's the thing that you're losing more by, right? Which is the game of positioning where you have to, it's your ability to go score those points. The good news is, looking at the board, you have 1 drone sitting at 1 health and 2 of them sitting at 2, right? So you can nick those a little easier than the others. I can't remember where they are on the board, but in theory, past Duncan knows where they are. So do you have an idea where to go? Actually, we kind of do know where they are. One of them is that guy, and one of them is that guy because of that and that. And as a matter of fact, we know that is the 1 health guy.
No, the brown one who's
this
right
is
there.
1 health guy, and that is 2 health guy. That's not a 2. That's a 2. It's a very bad 2.
So those things can easily pop in 1 shot.
Mm-hmm. So my question is what do you think is your plan, your route here? You still have 51 minutes, right? You got a lot of time.
I think I'm just trying to get bodies off the table,
Mm-hmm.
And then create less opportunities to be blocked.
So what do you think he's doing here then?
So he's probably just going to like turn and start getting. He has a really good opportunity to turn on Duchess, and I think that's what he's going to do, knowing that Soontir can probably just tuck behind that gas cloud and not take a lot of damage if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, are you? I'd be tempted to be pretty aggressive with Soontir here, to be honest, because there's not a lot you can do about him right here. But
It's like
what your thinking is. But yeah, Duchess is in a slightly dangerous position, although she has a million options. This would be another case where like he's spread out enough that I would be tempted to block ailerons with Chertek there, but
Do a talon roll.
I was about to say, are these talon rolls? Interesting.
Yeah, we're doing very weird talon rolls with Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're doing the side talon roll and then marking it for the
then moving yourself like it fits because I do the sideways backwards.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, he's going into Duchess, probably understanding that Soontir doesn't have to be anywhere. I mean, neither does Duchess.
Like 51 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So Duchess like has a way out to the left this turn if you dial it from the start. Like there's not much they can do about that, but it puts her in the same line as Soontir, right? Which I always hate doing. I don't know how much you try to avoid that, but I almost always, especially when you're down to 2 ships, you can't put them in the same quadrant. Or else it makes it way too easy for the swarm.
It is, but and I think Paul is thinking that exact same way too right now by putting all the ships to Duchess's right, and I just have to.
You just gotta, yeah.
And yeah,
but you dialed the right. Yeah. I like that. I think that's the right thing to dial, right? Because if you didn't go hard on that, then you definitely go the other way, right? Yeah.
And so that lone vulture once again is sort of picked off.
Yeah, you can definitely kill that.
It's like it's just nipping at the heels. You're like a bunch of like cheetah eating at the herd here.
You're taking 1 shot here. Are you taking 1 shot here on Duchess? Just the back talon roll guy?
The back talon roll guy, yeah, I think.
Yeah. So you evade. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I
really need to not take damage here. I have 5th bro.
Yeah. You got 5th bro. Yeah.
We take a target lock. We start getting aggressive with here with Soontir, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I have bullseye on everybody. Cool.
Yep. Easy. Whatever. Half the board.
Bullseye for days.
All right. So 2 hits.
2. Yeah.
And
Takes 1. That's fine. Yeah.
That guy was at full health, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's one of the full health ones.
Does he get that guy? Ooh, because that's death or not, right?
Yeah, I think that's death or not.
Probably have Chris doing this.
Yeah.
My hands are too jittery for this. And
it seems like the answer is yes.
Yeah, it dies.
Nope.
Dead, yeah.
Neat.
So that's good. Yeah, that's good for you.
Like bodies off the board. Let the bodies hit the floor.
I
did remember that. So range 2 turret shot. So I'm taking 4 dice this turn.
Yeah.
His 4 dice. 4 dice.
I don't know. You might take 1, but
yeah, which is why I made 8.
Yeah, not too worried. Yeah. You did use fifth bro?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
A very unlikely shot to hit.
Yeah. But stranger things have happened, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then this.
Yeah, this turn.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm watching the clock here. Whatever speed we're at.
The turn started at like 51 minutes.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And Travis, this is where you go on a rant about if this wasn't the finals, this would be game right here, and it would feel very unsatisfying.
It would.
I mean, these are a bunch of measurements that are doing it. People don't have to measure.
Yeah, I know.
People, I mean, this is also an argument where you can get time extensions for measurements, right? This would be a round where you can get 5 more minutes.
Actually, this is a funny decision. If I was Duncan here and I said, like, instead of wasting time measuring, say I'm down, instead of wasting time measuring, I'm just going to roll 2 dice. Can the other player insist that we measure?
They sort of, I don't know. Actually, I think they can, but
I think they can, right? But it seems weird.
But I would just appeal to the judge. Like, I think they're just trying to eat time.
They're just
off
trying to
the
waste
clock.
time, totally.
Like, yeah, I would actually appeal to the judge. Like, either you give me the time extension, or they're just trying to waste time. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, are you saying like, yeah? Either way, I mean, those were very close to being range 3 shots.
Right. I'm just saying that, like,
if you were wanted the opposite, like this would be disadvantageous for you.
Yeah,
like,
if you were just willing
loss.
to say, fine, it's range 2, just
right,
roll
just
the
to
dice,
speed
sort of,
up
right?
time because you want more time on the
yeah.
clock. But then
I'm not saying you do that here, but there are some situations where it's like, fine, your irrelevant shot becomes more irrelevant if this is obstructed or something, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah, like if you're shooting soon to range 3 behind a gas.
Yeah,
cloud.
fine, whatever. I have 4 or 5 dice and a focus of 8. It doesn't matter. Why are we measuring this type thing, right?
Yeah. But yeah, these would also be times where like you would be asking a judge for a time extension. I think, right?
I spent a lot of time in this turn, and Andrew, I took what you said about in the past. What you said about
What year
being.
is it?
Because Paul does not think I'm going to be aggressive here, and I know Paul doesn't. Paul knows
Right.
I played for the last like 4 years of my life.
Yeah, so Churtik is a little out of position, which is
Exactly why I took this opportunity to do what I did.
because like you can 2 or maybe even 3 straight, and it was soon to.
So what do you think? What do you think those vultures are doing then?
2 hearts, weird.
Yeah.
The 2 on the front could do a 1 hard, right?
This game is really easy when you know what they're going to do.
Oh, talon roll. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of them can talent roll, and then the rest of them do
1
twos
hard.
to
Yeah.
get,
1 hard.
to get calculates for their friends.
Yeah, that's cool. But honestly, I still think you're fine with this exchange, right? Like you bullseye 1 with Soontir, and then yeah.
Yeah, based on the amount that were stressed the previous turn, I think I'm actually okay.
Yeah, they can't turn tight enough, right? Unless they have the 1 turn barrel roll. And that one has an awkward decision to make because they were ended with the talent roll. So
The one who has weapon fail who does nothing for the rest of the game.
yeah, exactly. And that's luckily not one of the Discord ones, right? Because then you still be a threat from that perspective. But,
Yeah, this one makes me real sad.
so he can obviously roll that guy down, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're wrong for going straight here if that's what you do with Soontir. But we'll see.
Look at those 3 banks I keep dialing in.
Yeah, weird.
Oh no, but that one weapons guy failure might hit you.
Well, you gotta, yeah, 4 straight.
No, that was a 5 straight.
Oh, even better. Okay, I might have just done it
Right,
like
I did like twice.
3, but that's fair.
All right, so I could have the treacherous shot into Churtek, which doesn't really.
I don't think there's any useful reposition here. So yeah, you just token up.
Yeah, he just did the dump off, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you take the evade because you're taking 3 shots.
He got Tractor Boy out of the way.
So none of those 2 in front of you are damaged, though, right? Those are still full health ones.
One of them should be damaged. Oh no, the damage guy is all the way out there, I think.
Yeah, he's.
So we're trying to see if I have bullseye on this droid right here, which I do not. I think he's damaged. Yeah. Oh, that's right. This droid that I'm measuring, if I have bullseye, which I don't, is.
For crack shot, right?
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah. I was like,
So I have range 1 shot. I think it's a range 1. They're both range 1, and one has crack and one doesn't, but one has more health and one doesn't. So it's like a weird. I think I shoot at the back droid, who's damaged, and I roll like crap.
Doesn't super matter. Yeah, it happens. So what do we expect here? You might take one or 2 here. I guess it's not crazy to take 1. Double crit? That's
Bend the
That's
photo.
strong. Yeah, for one.
And
yeah,
then the power
doesn't
of
matter.
friendship.
And then you
Nothing
take one.
happens.
Yeah, okay. That's about normal,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I wish I'd done a little more damage there. So
Yeah. No, I think you could have done more damage, but taking one, but you also could have taken two there. So
I could have, but
Yeah.
you know, I really wanted that droid. Again, here it was like, hopefully initiative kills some people so that you can take them off the board, and that's few.
No. Obviously, best case, you kill the one, and then you take out
Why
most
can
of
I
them.
one shot every droid I shoot at?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're gonna say one thing for Vader, though, he's pretty consistent on that front.
Boy, is
Yeah,
he.
but he dead like 10 turns ago.
So, all right.
True.
So I like your move there. I know it didn't pay off, but it doesn't make it not the right call or a good call in the moment. But
Yeah, I
given
think
that
that's
it
good.
didn't pay off, what do you do now, basically, right?
Well, my aggressive maneuver didn't pay off, and you can't keep being aggressive.
Yeah, I think with where Churtik is, you gotta eject, right?
Yeah, I think you just eject here. These droids have some pretty decent blocking options for me turning left.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think I just have to go right, and hope Paul doesn't think I go right.
Yeah, and a left block could easily be Churtiked onto the rock shot.
Yeah,
that's
and like you said, Andrew, you don't want to put your last two aces in the same part of the board.
Yeah, exactly. You want to spread them out, so they got to pick a direction.
Mm-hmm. And this is a lot less about figuring out where you think the vultures or air quotes going to go, and more about where you need to be going and just what he can do about it, right? Because the swarm is no longer a cohesive swarm, so you're thinking about individual pieces more about than and what he's trying to do about you more than big blocks of things.
So I don't know, Duncan. I probably wouldn't be yet, but are you worrying about time at this point, or?
I am. I think at this point, this is the first time I ask what the point scenario is here.
Right.
So you cheat.
After I take damage without doing it.
Kidding.
Yeah, because I think at this point your time is still on your side effectively. The danger is obviously taking another one on Soontir, then you have a lot more uphill.
And I lose 33 points. I also there's still time is on my side, kind of, but the number of bodies on the board is not.
Yes, yes, it's dangerous. So, Duchess, what are you thinking? Walk me through that, because here there's a lot of options for Duchess.
She's still at full, and Paul has some options to chase after her. I think I just have to turn in.
Yeah.
Most of the game I'm worried about, Paul doesn't really have great blocking ability on Duchess. I'm just worried about tractoring Duchess, which is bad.
Right.
So I think I turn in here. And I need
a 2-turn maybe to go a little wide, or
to forget maybe
a 1. Yeah, that's cool. I don't think you're gonna get tractored this turn.
Yeah, he's doing some permutation of friends giving calculates and not calculates. And...
Yeah. And there's still 2 discords on the board, right?
Yep. And again,
so that blocks the ailerons right, which is, I assume, why he did it.
And talking, knowing Paul and talking with Paul, the discords are there. They're great to fire, but plenty of times they're there to zone. They're just a threat, right?
Oh,
totally. You have to respect them the rest of the game until he fires them. So.
Yep, absolutely.
So again, here it would have been nice to do the left turn, despite Paul being able to block it in every way.
And I mean, it's not irrelevant. It cut off straights from Soontir there a little bit. Although I guess you could have barrel rolled out off them on this turn. But that discord that's already on the board, I'm saying, is not irrelevant.
I downed on the one hard, and I knew it was blocked, but I wanted to see if the one hard gave me enough turn to.
Yes. Yeah, because the boost doesn't fit anymore, and the boost left is no good for that, right?
Yeah, and the boost straight doesn't do anything. Boost straight decreases the angle in which I can catch that.
Yeah. I think you have a shot if you bump here. Well, I guess it depends.
Hey, guess what? Spoiler alert, I don't.
Yeah, sad. Those 1 turns are kind of a pain.
At this point, I agree with just making Chris play your game for you.
Agreed. Yep.
I think with 20 minutes left, Chris played more of the game than I did. No, my Duchess. I spent so much effort to actually get a Lego TIE Striker pilot.
Yeah, so Duchess could definitely take 1 here, if not 2, because she's got just force.
I lucked out here, I guess. Could take the target lock here. I think I just don't, because Church.
Oh, that's good. That works out great for you. You dodged everything.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would have been a little nervous about hitting those buzz droids, but I guess you could always
A little bit.
roll out of them anyways, even if you did. So
I knew it was going to fit the whole time. I actually did.
yeah,
I think the evade because Churtek still has a shot, and like I said, the more times I roll green dice, the more times they could fail.
yeah.
Yep, he's just setting himself up for an easier barrel roll next turn.
Yeah.
Yep, we spent a lot of time measuring arc here.
So hold on. Did he not think he could put the other vulture into a shot?
I think he can, but I think it would be he probably knows.
He just thought it was a kill.
I was going to have him in bullseye.
Yeah, right.
And he doesn't want any more return shots.
Yeah.
That droid is the one who is weapon. No, he's at 1 health.
Oh, so Duchess walked away from that, no damage, eh? That's good.
No, yeah, she did. I guess weird.
Yeah.
Because
if she went to half there, which is not outrageous, that would have been a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
This turned interesting because all his droids are split up now, so they have to actually make independent decisions.
Which I don't think was necessarily a bad turn for me. Now, this turn really depresses me in 2 ways.
Because obviously you sloop Soontir here to get shots, right?
Yeah, dude.
He's got to want it. Oh.
Yep.
All right, so Talon roll?
Talon roll? I meant to pause it a little bit before then. So
now
we know what Talon roll is.
So which are the Discord ones here?
It's still brown.
Track.
So that'll be...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just it's the quality.
This one, hold on.
Okay, that one, yeah.
And Paul thinks about shooting a Discord here.
These two.
Yes. Yeah. So both of those are relevant Discords this turn.
Yep.
So yeah.
He's done a decent job getting them back into relevance.
So. Yeah. Interesting. Kind of an interesting matchup. Do you enjoy games like this? I know some people hate playing against swarms, but I kind of enjoy it. Duncan, I don't know what your feeling is.
Yeah. I'll be done soon. Yeah, so I mean, it's, I don't know. Like, I feel like when there's this many ships on the table, I'm really frustrated at the fact that I don't know. It just takes a lot more time than I like. I think like a good amount of time of this game was spent like marking ships and measuring arcs. And,
sure. Yeah. No. Mechanically, I agree with you. I still find this sort of matchup more interesting than something like.
No, it's very interesting. Just like if we're playing like my house and we're drinking beers and playing this game with infinite time to see how it plays out, it's very interesting. But if we sit here and play this 75 minutes, I'm super bored.
Right. Yeah, I think Ryan Farmer feels similarly. There's just not enough time for this many ships.
And it's no fault of the Swarm player. Like at Nova, I played against a Swarm player who was like, hey, if I tell you what I'm doing, you can go ahead and move all your ships. And we still, like, it took like 30 minutes to take.
Yeah, it just takes a long time. And I know this is one of the ones where people disagree, but, obviously the whole, like, you need to play super tight and make sure everything is super precise is a trade-off with how long it takes to do stuff. So
yeah. This is a good turn for Duchess. It's very interesting, I think.
Yeah. So you're not going to get ailerons here.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. Like super minor
Duchess
turn.
Can have a little bit of ailerons as a treat.
Yeah. But if you're able to just tuck in behind Churtek, that's pretty okay.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I guess so that he can tractor his other guy. That's interesting. Don't know that I understand that one. Maybe just to threaten Duchess going the other way.
All right, so we have Chris play the game for us. We can speed this up. Blah blah blah. I think there's only 2 more turns left at this point. Has anyone keeping track of number of turns?
No, So I was thinking about, you were talking about being bored and everything. I suspect if we did the math and including you guys knowing you can, take more time, I suspect you got a normal amount of turns even in your 75 minutes. So
I feel like maybe it was suboptimal for 75, but for 2 hours, it's the amount I would like in a 75, just with the amount of measuring Chris is doing here.
How many rounds do you normally think you get, like an average, like you get in a game?
I think that's a good question for another time.
Mm-hmm.
I would like 10 to 12.
Okay. So you think that this game was 10 to 12?
Maybe. I think so.
I suspect this is easily a 14 or higher game.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than that.
It's a
Yeah,
lot more
probably.
than 12.
I mean, with the first 3 turns being pretty simple.
That doesn't change the number of turns you get. Just
No,
because
no,
I
you're
mean, you have to bear in mind a swarm being simple counts as number of turns. Like,
Yeah. Okay. So I'm aggressive. I barrel roll here, totally forgetting that I arc dodge one of those, and then I 4 blank into 2 hits on Soon Tier, which sucks.
oof.
And oh wait, Chris told me my crack shot would have mattered there. Never mind. Okay, I feel less bad about losing this game. Chris told me if I crack shot it there, it would have mattered. And then Duchess rolls like crap. With Predator and Fifth Brother, she rolls 1 hit, and Soon Tier with target lock focus crack shot rolls 2 hits.
I mean, you're doing a very good job of picking out these vultures, one at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what I'm doing here. I obviously go to half right there on Soon Tier, which sucks. I wanted to kill that droid, which isn't unfeasible. It's at 2 health. Or it was full. I'm sorry, it was full. And I had target lock focus crack shot. I wanted to kill it. I don't know, Lordson, what do you think?
It's probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
60. It did have a token. It had a token.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably like a little over. I don't know. I can go do the math while you guys continue.
But then Duchess also between Predator, Fifth Brother, only rolling 1 hit there. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, but she got her luck last turn, so.
Oh, you're right. All right, now here comes the final turn. We spend a lot of time on it. Go ahead and fast forward a bunch.
Oh yeah. What I was going to say is like, what's your path to victory here? Do you find one?
I'm down by what, 15?
Something like that? Yeah, 15 exactly.
So I literally get a sheet of paper out. Sorry, Alex Watkins. I get a sheet of paper and start writing down all my possible win conditions here. Let's see. So if I kill that droid who's right there, I get 10. Yeah, I get 10. So I don't win that way. So I have to get 2 halves or 1 full droid to win the game, or half of Chertek, which is unreasonable.
So what did happen to that droid on the top? He took no damage?
He took 2, and I halved him. Or which droid? That one that Soon Tier shot at, or the one that Duchess shot?
The one Soon Tier shot at.
I rolled 4 blanks into 2 hits, and he rolled 2 blanks, and I took half.
Okay, so you didn't crack shot for 1 hit as well.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I couldn't have crack shotted. Chris told me later on that my crack shot would have won me the game, but now he didn't actually roll any evades for me to crack shot, so I feel better about this loss now. A little better. And then he halved Soon Tier in response with a double hit crit.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah,
so you could have crack shotted him for 1 damage, but not for half.
No, he didn't roll any evades, so I had no crack shot ability.
But you said you rolled 2 hits, right?
Yeah, and he rolled 0 evades.
Oh, so he is halved.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
He is halved.
Yeah.
That's fine. My bad.
He's
yes.
droid number 3 on your right.
That makes sense. Yeah, cool.
So
the odds are higher. If you're willing to use crack shot and blow all your mods, you got decent odds of killing it. But it's in the 20%ish, 10 to 20%ish range that he doesn't die. So it's not crazy. But...
It's not crazy that he doesn't die, but I wish I didn't roll 4 blanks. That would have been nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Duchess not doing any damage there. So this past turn, and this turn kind of suck. I think you can fast forward. We spent 20 minutes on this turn.
Cool. Okay, so
Chris at this point says the game is over because there's 3 minutes left and there's no way you're finishing.
Yeah, so Soon Tier got halved is the main. Yeah.
That's the main thing there. The droid rolled hit crit and got damage sensor array on Soon Tier. Not that the crit matters, but it
sure. Yeah, half matters. Yeah.
So I'm halved, and now Paul took the lead back.
So you need to kill a full health vulture or have 2 others, which you can't because there's only 1 more to have. So you need to kill 2 1 health ones or something,
or 1 full one, and I think the full one is protected off in the corner or something.
Yeah. That's 1 minute. So do you do something super aggressive here?
I mean, I have to, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Except for focus.
Yeah.
So that droid bumps there. I mean, what else do you do? That's
no, for sure. I just mean Duchess turn right in here. I guess we'll see.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, totally.
Chertek just goes to the cloud.
Yep. But yeah, it's a little bit of a long shot at this point.
Yeah, to get well, actually,
That just has to kill that. That's not crazy, but Soontir has to kill
I'm taking 3 shots, so 4 shots. I take the evade. Soontir goes there, has Trotec and Bullseye, takes a focus because I have to.
Yeah.
An action I can take, and it.
So Duchess needs to kill that. Soontir needs to kill the other one in front there. Yeah. Do they actually have no tokens? They took not a single token.
It looks like that's the case. No.
I see crit markers.
I feel like I saw this one. Hold on.
That's a little interesting.
I saw this one barrel roll, so I feel like there's a calculate where like he failed to put on the board. The others look like they actually got bumped.
I'm not sure why he would not take tokens on the last turn, right? Like,
yeah.
All right, so I'm doing all my math here. I think Paul. So I say if I kill that one right there with Soontir and kill the one that Duchess is looking at, I win the game. That's the only way I win, right here.
Yeah, you got to kill 2. Take your 2 best shots.
I'm sitting here writing down all my win conditions.
Shout out Alex Watkins. Thanks.
So Soontir's got focus. Duchess has force. But other than that, you're just, it's a single mod-ish. Less than single mod on Duchess.
No, she has Predator, and she has 5th.
Oh, she has Predator, right. Yeah, that I mentioned force is like...
All right, so he tractors that droid and hopes he arc dodges Soontir.
Because that would be pretty much game-winning if he does.
Well, I could still shoot Chertek, who I have a range 3.
Yeah, but that's... I don't think you're going to get half on that. That's pretty unlikely.
It's really, well, she has no tokens. I don't know. I get arc, though, and I'm like, well, that's one fewer shot I can take on Duchess, who he can have right here.
No, I think you're right. You got to shoot that guy. Chertek's pretty unlikely. You got to do 2 to him with a single mod against 4 dice. That doesn't seem likely.
Yeah. All right, so I don't have Bullseye or Crack Shot, so I never spend Crack Shot this game.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so I kill the droid. Cool. All right, Duchess here, and be ready to be depressed. Neat.
Yeah. It happens.
And then you roll. Yeah, whatever. All right, so I just lost the game.
Yeah, and that makes it impossible to win the game.
Yeah. So we played as a formality to see how much Paul wins by. I needed the evade token there, so it's better that I took that than the focus, because Duchess would have been halved on that shot.
The other thing is he just rolled a bunch of nothing, too. Duchess could have easily been halved that turn, regardless, even if you killed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's why I took the evade. And I lose here, and Chris confirms it with math, and I lose.
So if you had taken, functionally, if you had taken the focus, you would have been halved, though?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
no opportunity to spend Crack Shot anywhere for more points.
Yeah. Interesting game. Well, honestly, though, I will say up front, though, that I feel happier that it went to that point. It felt slightly more resolved there than it would have if it had ended when the droids turned back after the first one, where it probably would have ended in a regular timed game. So,
I mean, yeah, this game came down to the wire, and certainly you got to an end game. I think you were playing as.
No, I agree. At 75 minutes, I maybe didn't feel like it was an end game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said on like turn 3, that's when we felt like it was mid game.
The mid game can still last. I don't
The
think we're.
mid game was really long.
I mean, we can go check the 75. Well, this is what the board state looked like at 75 minutes, like out of curiosity. So, I guess it's sort of. I mean, it's arguable. You lost Grand Inquisitor by then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a lot of points scored, but I would argue that in a lot of ace games, a lot of points scored will not occur anyway.
Yeah, but that to me, like, the thing that I'd be the least happy about is that, like, at this point, it's still. I think both players would agree. This is still anyone's game, easily.
Yeah, definitely. So.
Whereas, like, I don't know, at the end, especially if Duchess gets halved, I guess she didn't there. Yeah, like, Soontir Duchess could have maybe pulled it out with more time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you probably agree you were a little down at the end there, Duncan.
Yeah, and this was the pivotal turn where if I had chosen right on Inquisitor, I would have been less all bad off. But
sure, yeah.
But it would have been a 35. If Quiz didn't die right here, he would still have it. It would have been a 35 to 30 win for me.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel good.
I mean, no, but at the same point, like I said, points scored.
But I mean, everything changes after that if a ship survives. So
yeah, it's all different. It's a different scenario.
Interesting.
I mean,
cool game. And I think and then the one other turn, like I said, where we mentioned where Duchess got off and could have taken damage. I think that was the other point where I wasn't sure that it's like this could maybe be trouble. The turn where he threw that guy into the block of the one turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Like maybe it sounds like Duncan, you thought you felt like, there's always like we always wish we roll better. Do you feel like variance was a huge factor here? I didn't feel like it was too swingy either way. A super amount myself, but
my greens were good for quite a while. I think it's more the recency effect is the fact that the last two turns where I it got down to like, oh, I need to do this to win, and my dice to like hold up statistically average. Like a statistically average roll on that last turn with Duchess is hit, focus blank, and then re-roll the blank. Yeah, maybe I don't even need to spend Fifth Brother.
But although I think if we work it out, she probably on average takes the damage there too, right? And you still
true.
lose.
I mean, if we go back and like give both players statistically average rolls, I don't know how it works out.
Yeah, it'd be complicated too.
It would be.
Yeah. No, and it's not ever necessarily a point of doing that, but it didn't necessarily feel like one of these ones that's like, cool, I whiffed on a torpedo. I guess I lose. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and then the turns where I had multiple shots on droids, I wanted to do a little more, and he like nattied out of it. Like best case scenario, I wanted to kill one.
Sure.
But the last two turns really felt bad, and probably the recency effect.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, oh, those turns really stick out to me because they were the last turns to take, and I needed to do what I needed to do.
I think this was a really good game. I appreciate you coming on because I think a lot of players really don't understand ace play. For one, like it was a really good example. I mean, you and I talk about it and we know, but like the idea of like what running means, we say it, but we don't mean what people think we mean, right? It means doing what we're talking about. So you when you're up with aces, we mean running as in running, but pressuring, not running.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. We do mean run, but it means run strategically, not like run like Naruto run around the board, right?
A tactical retreat.
Yeah.
Or
while pressuring.
I always think of it as you just bias it towards, you always have options of varying levels of aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
When you're up, you just bias it towards the more defensive, less likely to be, less possible to block, less committal options type things, versus completely running. But yeah, you can't just show your back to everyone. That gives them too many options.
Right. And I appreciate you coming on also because it also showed your mindset where you don't know what every move is. It's like just showing where you're inquisitor or like, I'm not sure which one I did and I went this one and it didn't work out. Right. So it's very nice. I know we'll try and get you on another time where you did pick the right maneuver, but it's very helpful sometimes for people to hear where it didn't work out. And so we appreciate you being willing to come on and talk through those.
Yeah, and I hope this game kind of helps people who are trying to learn either how to play against or play with aces, something.
So no, thanks a lot, man, and then enjoy your time down at Star Wars Land, at Galaxy's Edge.
Dude, it's so humid down here. How did you live down here?
Barely. What is it? Is it like 70 down there?
Yeah, it's like 70 and like 91% humidity or something like that.
Hey, it's not 100.
Hey, it's not 100.
Wait a minute, is it 91 now, or is it 91 during the day?
I don't know. It was like when I landed, I felt like I was swimming to the baggage claim.
You probably were, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, pictures pending of my lightsaber tomorrow. It's going to be sweet.
All right.
That's awesome. I'm only a little jealous, but thanks for coming on, Duncan.
All right.
Thanks, guys.